Welcome to the Love and Sex Today show with Dr. Doug Weiss. Doug has been healing hearts and relationships for decades. He's helped thousands of people release the shame and the guilt, restoring hope, helping people get free from addictions to enjoy a better sex and love life. Here he is, your host, Dr. Doug Weiss.
Welcome to Love and Sex Today. I am Dr. Doug Weiss, and welcome to our 20th conversation. This one's called Fighting Fair. This comes out of the book, The 10-Minute Marriage Principle. In that chapter, we talk about the 10-minute argument. I'm going to give you those principles in the 10-minute marriage so that you can reduce your arguments and make your arguments so effective that you're actually solving problems instead of attacking each other and using your skills to win. You might be wrong and you could still win an argument. What I'm going to teach you today is going to be how to fight fair, but also how to get the best solution for any problem in your marriage. How would you like to be able to efficiently solve problems and get the best solution every time? Well, that's our topic for today. I want you to go to loveandsextoday.com, subscribe there, give us a review on iTunes. And this is going to be one you're going to want to share with your friends, because every marriage, every primary relationship needs to be able to solve problems. Life gives you problems so you can mutually solve them and both rejoice in those solutions. But go to loveandsextoday.com, subscribe there, write a review. One of you who writes a review will be chosen for a private, priceless conversation with yours truly. And we'll be able to have fun and get something done, maybe just problem solve something that's going on in your life. Also get your free chapter on the webpage. There's always some chapter from one great book, like the book we're talking about today, The 10-Minute Marriage Principle. Now let's get to this. If you're married or if you're in a primary relationship, even if you're dating, for goodness sake, you're going to have conflict. You know, one of the realities of life is life will continually bring you challenges, no matter how perfect and wonderful your life currently is. You have a really good life, and yet there's going to be a challenge in my life, probably today. There's going to be a problem we have to solve, a relationship we have to look at or reevaluate. This is constant. It's called growth. And conflicts can lead you to growth. It can lead you to new ideas. It can lead you to new solutions if you know how to do conflict well. Now, fortunately or unfortunately for you, depending how you grew up or what you were exposed to, you didn't learn how to do conflict well. So you try to be right. And being right is more important than actually solving a problem. Beating the other person at the game of conflict has become more important than actually sitting through and creating the best solution for the day. This is so common. I've dealt with helping people fight fair for over 30 years. And it is wonderful to see people arise, use a new skill, practice it, and get better results. Well, that's what you get to do today. Let me give you your skill. This Fighting Fair worksheet, if you want one, I can give you a worksheet. I'm going to go through the principles, but you have to send this an email. Go to Love and Sex Today, hit the email, and let us be able to do that. I believe it's a Love and Sex Today podcast@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to get that to you. So it's called the Fighting Fair worksheet. And my staff will know what it is, and they'll email that. You can print off about 20 of those. And you want to do that so that you can practice arguing. When someone does a 3 and 5 day intensive at Heart to Heart Counseling Center in Colorado Springs, oftentimes when I do this exercise, I give them 8 or 10. And I say, now today, I want you to go fight, do 3 fights and bring those back. And when you leave, I want you to do another 5. And when you follow up your phone call with me, let's go ahead and find out what those 5 arguments were, how you fought fair, and how you solved the problem. I've done this in conferences. It's a blast to watch people fight in less than 5 minutes, solve problems that has been plaguing them for, sometimes 5, 10, 15 years. There's so many funny stories, but in the interest of time, let's get to this. So fighting fair, the first thing you do at the top of the sheet is you state one problem. Now this right here totally destroys the people who want to, kind of fight in an ADD way. Well, we're talking about me. No, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your mom. Let's talk about the past. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the dog. You cannot solve a problem if you're not focused on one problem. Now, if other problems come up, you can sidebar those. Okay, we'll talk about that next. But let's stay on the problem. Okay? And I'll give you an example at the end. Number two, this is where it's challenging. You need to write down your feelings. He writes his, she writes hers. You both write down your feelings. And if you're not good at feelings, get the podcast on emotional fitness, get the book Emotional Fitness, get good at feelings. Because if you're in a long term relationship and you don't know how to do feelings, you're handicapped on being able to do a lot of things. But I can tell you, one handicap will be your conflict skills will be limited because you feel rejected. You're going to be arguing about your rejection, although you don't have a clue that's what you're doing. You're going to argue because you feel disrespected, and instead of being able to say, you know what, I felt disrespected and that hurt my feelings or heart, you're going to argue about something. So being able to identify your feelings about the issue. The next is write down your ideas. Now, so far, all you're doing is writing. You both have a sheet of paper. You're not talking. He writes down his ideas. She writes down her ideas. Okay? Now, the next step is combining the ideas. Now, the reason you do this is because I'm just going to assume you're reasonably intelligent. And as a reasonably intelligent person, you probably have dated and married a reasonably intelligent person. At least you used to think that. And so you want to be able to combine ideas because no matter what the problem is, you're going to come up with some of the same ideas, which all by itself should confirm your hypothesis that you married someone intelligent. Now, lastly, you vote from 1 to 10. 1 is, I don't like the idea we're voting on. 10 is, I love this idea that we are voting on. It may be your own idea, but you love it. And so from 1 to 10, so let's suppose you have 5 different options for this problem, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then you vote on your options. In option 1, the total is 8. Option 2, total is 13. Option 3, the total is 6. Option 4, it's 10. Option 5 is 18. Well, 18 would win the day. Now, some people actually use the sheets and they keep these in some kind of record. They sign on the bottom, and that way they don't have to keep solving the same problem 100 times in their marriage. I can't tell you how many couples argue about the same thing again and again and again. Lisa and I rarely have a conversation again and again and again. We've used the format of being able to solve problems most of our marriage, and it really helps us stay friends because even through the process, we're hearing each other. And we don't always agree on what each other's feeling or even some of the ideas that we come up with. But we get down to it and we solve the problem. And we don't have these recurring same problems because we solved it. Let me give you my classic example of this. Lisa and I were married for probably just a couple months. And I was getting my master's degree. I was working more than full time, taking a full load of master's level classes, and Lisa was working full time. But we had different shifts because we only had one car, which was her car. Okay. And so I would take her to work in the morning. I would pick her up and I would tell her where the car was because we worked in the same building. And then she would take the car home and she'd come and pick me up at 11 o'clock at night. This went on for a couple of years. Well, this particular day, I was running late and I had my backpack full of books and I was running towards the door. And my beautiful wife was sitting on the sofa and she was going to be home the rest of the night. And she looked at me and said, "Don't forget to take out the garbage." And I said, "I don't know what this garbage thing is, but when I come home tonight, we're going to solve this." Okay, so what we found out, and then I'll get you through how we would go through the grid. What we found out is me and Lisa both came from different garbage histories. That's right, a garbage history. You have a garbage history, everyone has a garbage history. It's how your family managed garbage. Well, in Lisa's family, now Lisa's the last of 6 children. Imagine 8 people in the same house, how much garbage that is. That's a lot of garbage. Okay? So she was at home while all the other kids were at school, and she would see her mom collect all the garbage and take these big garbage bags down the flight of steps to the curb. And in her little girl heart, now I'm talking someone before kindergarten, she created an idea that said, if my dad loved my mom, he would take out the garbage. So garbage means a man loves his wife. Now that's irrational, but she's, before kindergarten. So you got to give her some grace there on that. Well, in my world, I lived in a house with my two half sisters, my stepdad and my mom, and we had a totally different garbage. It was like this kind of equalitarian garbage system. It didn't matter if you were male or female, and it didn't matter if you were a child or an adult. The garbage would pile up, and you were allowed to pile that garbage as high as you could. But if it fell over, you were responsible to take it out. So we'd all be sitting, maybe watching TV or having dinner or something, and someone would all of a sudden crash. The garbage would hit the floor. Okay, great, take it out. And we would all just laugh, okay, because it was just part of the way. So on this, you can see Lisa and I came from different garbage universes, and we had to solve the garbage problem. So the problem is garbage. Maybe Lisa felt disrespected or unloved or unimportant. Maybe I felt confused, frustrated, and burdened. Okay. Then we write down our ideas. Okay. Now remember, there's only two of us in the house. It's not a lot of garbage. Right. And it was only one flight of steps down, and we were both in really good shape at this time in our lives, for sure. So ideas. Well, Lisa's ideas might be you take it out, you take it out. Right. My idea was Lisa takes it out, I take it out, rotate it, take it out, hire someone to take it out. That might be a fourth idea, but we didn't have a lot of money back then. So once we combined our ideas, which is me, her, rotate, or hire someone to take it out, we would vote on that 1 to 10. Okay. Maybe Lisa votes, 10 on me taking it out, and I vote 1, that's 11. And, her taking out, she votes 2 and I vote 8. Well, that's 10. Rotating and taking out, she votes 7, I vote 7, that's 14. Hiring someone we couldn't afford, so that was like a 2. All right. So 14-1, we rotate who takes it out. Now that would be a way of solving the problem. Now in reality, I just decided that, hey, if that means I love you, that's cheap to do that, no problem. And we did that for 20 years, and now we both take the garbage out because we have to drive down to take the garbage out. But that's how you would solve the problem, is you would walk through the grid, state the problem, state your feelings, his and hers, write those down, write your different ideas down, combine those ideas, vote on the idea, and if it's important, keep record of this so you don't have to argue about, hey, you want to talk about garbage? Oh, I thought we did that one already. Let's look back. Page. Oh, yeah, there's the garbage argument. You want to do it again? This is ridiculously easy and ridiculously very amazing how quick I can turn couples who fight like cats and dogs into problem solvers. Well, you deserve that problem solver lifestyle. Again, if you want that worksheet, go to loveandsextoday.com. Give us an email at loveandsextodaypodcast@gmail.com. We'll be happy to send you that worksheet. Go to Love and Sex Addict. Please subscribe, write a review. One of you that writes a review, you will definitely get selected for a private conversation, which will be a blast. And as always, there's a free chapter on the website. We really want you to have a great life. This is one of those practical skills. Share this with all your friends so that you can help them fight better. Remember, always have great love.
That's it for our episode of Love and Sex Today with Dr. Doug Weiss. Head on over to loveandsextoday.com and be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes. When you do, and you post a review on iTunes, some lucky listener is going to win every single month a private confidential coaching call with Dr. Doug Weiss. Also, feel free to ask any question you like. You can push a button, speak your question, and Dr. Doug will answer your question in a future episode. So be sure to subscribe to the show. Doug's got some great gifts for you, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.